I still have some energy left. I don't know why, because I got tired, but I want to watch the end of this board meeting where we left off. The white establishment board members overruled the minority board members, and that was a really watershed event. And it was really surprised to see how white supremacy actually played out at the Trimet board. That was really something to behold. Too bad it didn't get any mainstream. Of course, it's not going to get any mainstream coverage. It doesn't get any coverage. I'm the only one that's paying attention, and I know I'm throttled. Nobody can see anything I'm doing. They have me throttled. But yeah, that was the last thing was the board. The white against the minority. The white win by default, 3-3. Motion doesn't pass. It was shocking to watch that play out. That's Portland in a nutshell right there. All virtue signaling, no meat. All virtue signaling, no actual meat. It's all your Democrats. The pretend party. We pretend we care, but we're just Republicans. But we don't insult people like Republicans do. They are Republicans without the mean streak.
Operation as a board and as an agency. And we're pleased that we have somebody internally who can handle this position in an interim way. And that's Sam DeSue Jr., who is our current Chief Operating Officer. And I think in the board package, you can see that he has about 10 years of military experience.
Yeah, just what you need, a fucking ex-military man. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Get those operators in line. Up, 2.
And has another 27 years of experience in public transit, both in Kansas City area Transit Authority, where he served as the interim general manager for a couple of years, and as the deputy chief executive officer for a couple of years. And since February, he has, as I said, been our chief operating officer. So I think is the ideal candidate to move us through for the next few months while we engage in our search to hire a permanent general manager. The resolution that's before you, I want to make it clear, it has three components. The first of them is effective on March 5th, 2021. He will be appointed as the Trimet's interim general manager and shall serve until the board appoints the replacement general manager. The second thing is that you authorize me as the board president to negotiate and execute the board's behalf a contract with
Sam DeSue!
The general manager up to 180 days. And then finally, we'll ask that Sam DeSue work with the board to look at performance expectations, draft, let's focus on some of the key items so that's the action, and that's the resolution.
Motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Fuck you, Elias.
Second.
Fuck you,
Motion
you
and a
board of
second. Is
fucking
there any
hacks.
further discussion?
You have no credibility with anybody.
Hearing none, then all in favor of the motion to approve resolution number 21-02-04 signify by saying aye.
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 Sam DeSue, I've seen him do a presentation. He's gonna make a lot of fun for me. I'm brutal. I don't care who you are. If you don't know what you're doing, I'm calling you out, okay? I don't care who you are, what race you are, what religion you are. I have nothing against anybody, but if you're an idiot, you will be called an idiot. If you're a goddamn sock puppet, you'll be called a sock puppet.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the
I
motion is
sent
approved
Kathy a little
unanimously.
note telling her how much I appreciate her. She didn't answer me. Okay, Kathy, don't worry about it, man. I know you can't talk to me because that might give me fucking credibility. You can't allow that.
All right, let's move on to the next resolution, which is Resolution 21-02-05, which is approving the 2022-2023 biennium special.
We're at Trimet is $7 million. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to give it to the goddamn cronies.
Transportation Improvement Fund formula and disbursement of federal sector. In our packets, but Mr. General Manager, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Board President, members of the board. This fund goes to a wide range transportation service. It includes Trimet's Lyft, Wilson's Smart Services, Ride Connection, and also a number of small city transit agencies and community organizations that provide really important and critical services to seniors and people with disabilities.
Canada, you
This also goes towards our vision that we've shared around becoming the first place in the United States that's 100% transit accessible to everybody. Trimet's responsibility is to really take applications in this process from the providers, evaluate them, and then develop a disbursement plan under the advisement of the Special Transportation Advisory Formula Committee. For 22 and 23 biennium, the total amount of STA funding is available is $8.6 million. The STF funds available is $2 million within that.
You got money everywhere. Money rolling everywhere,
Section
man.
5310 funding is just under $7.5 million. So
Of
our
course, the
role
bottom
here
20% of the population are dying, but nobody cares. Nobody cares because this is the land of the free. Who cares about those bottom 20% stuck out in the cold? Nobody. Sickening.
A pass-through agency for the funds. If you recall, the HB 2017 Transit Advisory Committee also advises Trimet.
Tax grab! They stole your money right
$1
from
million
under your
of STIF
fucking
funds
noses.
each year for these total services. Additionally, the fund Lyft, these funds go to services that would otherwise have been would have to be met by Lyft themselves. So at our own funding program. So they provide a substantial improvement overall for our services for seniors and people with disabilities. And your approval, Mr. Board President,
Fuck off, Chelsea. Get lost.
If there are technical questions, we also have Tom Mills and I think Cora Potter, who I see on right now. Cora, is there, I missed anything or anything that you wanted to cover?
Nope.
There's just one technical thing with the flow through of the funding. The legislature is in the process of deciding how to combine some STIF funding with the Special Transportation Fund. And so about $1.8 million of the $8.6 million that's indicated in STF is actually STIF funding. It's baked into that $8.6 million amount. So the total amount of STIF that's actually being distributed is around $3.8 million this fall.
Thank you. Other questions by the board for staff or the general manager?
Keep pumping that money out, man.
I'm hearing none. Is there then a motion to approve resolution number 21-02-5?
So moved.
A motion by Director Gonzalez and a second by Director Simmons. Was that correct?
Correct.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve resolution number 21-02-05, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Let's move on then to resolution 21-02-06, which is declaring certain real property as necessary for construction and operation of the Better Red. Mr. General Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Board President. This also authorizes the general manager to make offers to purchase the property or acquire
fucking
through,
pork
I think
barrel.
it's come before the board before eminent domain, if it's needed.
You.
In this case, as you know, what we call the Better Red project will extend the red line to Fairplex in Hillsborough
Waste of
Station
money that is.
to help ease some of the crowding that we consistently saw on the blue line.
Oh yes,
in a
ride ships
pre-COVID
down
period.
60%, idiot asshole
And
liars.
this also includes extra new rail cars.
Liars.
And is also underpinned with our
Fucking
commitment to speeding the system up. That's where the steel bridge upgrades fit into this. Double tracking to the airport and altering some of the rail layout at Gateway to accommodate this. This is also projected to ultimately increase ridership, and again, in addition to speeding the system up. It improves also our reliability on the entire MAX system, again by adding double tracking from Gateway to the Portland International Airport. Most people may not be aware of this, but when we build the rail line schedule up, literally we're only as good as the train in front of you, which probably makes a lot of sense. And the slowest point that's held us back for many, many years here is actually the single track between the airport and Gateway. This project, in fact, helped liberate that, and therefore liberate and speed up the whole system by a few minutes. In this case, there are only 10 properties owners that will be impacted by, and of those, 6 are state and local governments that support the project, and they're also well aware and understanding of the potential impacts. In terms of, for context overall, though, we do know that Trimet does not expect to acquire entire properties on any of these takeouts. We'd be seeking property for construction purposes or expansion of the public right-of-way only. And these purchases are necessary, and they're also all included in the Better Red Line.
The wasteful pork barrel.
So with that, your approval is recommended. And,
of course you approve the pork, you fucking
happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. General Manager. Are there questions by the board? I'm seeing that it's a fairly straightforward project.
Yeah.
And for those who haven't been around before, Trimet has done a wonderful job of keeping us out of eminent domain and needing to go to court on these things. So I have the same expectation.
Fuck you, Warner. Get lost.
So there's our motion to approve resolution number 21-02-06.
So moved.
Second. Or second. There a motion and second. I think that was Director Gonzalez and then Director Edwards.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion to approve resolution number 21-02-06, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Should vote no on everything.
Any abstentions? Hearing none, then the motion is unanimously. All right, then the final resolution we have is resolution 21-02-08, which is authorizing a contract modification with David Evans and Associates.
Oh yeah, hand him the money. Just hand it to him. Here's your money. Here's an extra $1 million for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Board President. So this is a temporary staffing firm that helps us with project and construction management, is also as well as executive assistance for engineering in the engineering construction division. Staff have been providing assistant construction manager and office engineer project controls specifically for our Powell Garage project, so they're well immersed into the complexity of this Midway project, and they're vital members to this project team.
Vital members, yeah, give them money, hand it to them. Hey, we need some more money, hand it over, man.
Anticipated. The request before you today is for additional funds for them to stay in their positions and help with provide their expertise, particularly with that Powell, the Powell Garage project as it continues. The funds are also needed.
Fucking waste.
Coming back with you with supplemental resolutions on this. This is intended as one resolution to help with upcoming rail and other miscellaneous projects, things like the red line that was just talked about in the previous resolution. David and Evans, their workforce is 33% women and just under 17% minorities, and their goal is actually to subcontract about 10% of the work to certified firms specifically for the work. This resolution before you modifies the contract to increase the authority from $1 million to $1.762 million. And these funds are included in the fiscal 21 operating budget for the engineering construction division. So with that, happy to answer any question, and your approval is recommended.
Is there questions by the board?
Yeah, give them the money. Hand it over. Just hand them over. Here, take the money. Stack the money.
I was trying to.
We can throw it away. We don't need it.
Yeah, my question is,
how much are we extending this contract, or are we extending the contract?
Just give them the money. Just
Give
give
them
it
that
to them. You have millions
3/4
laying
of the,
around. Give it to all the
initial
cronies,
contract,
man.
that we're,
Just give it away to the cronies.
Yeah, Steve, are you online, Steve?
Yes, Doug, I
Want me to take that?
Board President Director Edwards.
Fucking idiot.
These were actually a suite of contracts that were procured competitively, and so if your question is about the order of magnitude for this particular increase,
What are these doing?
I will let you know this is not sort of a sole source or directed towards one contractor necessarily. There were a suite of contracts that were competitively bid, and a number of contracts were awarded. It just happens, and this is a small town, David Evans, over the course of a couple of years, has actually acquired talent from other firms. And I'll say that 70% of this work is actually to support our track rehabilitation project, and we have 3 shutdowns that we want to cover this calendar year.
Oh,
And so,
God, what a shit.
What's happened is
Real fucking
city's
real.
been consolidated by this one firm. And
just give them it up. Here's another $750,000. Here, take it. We don't need it. We don't need it. Fuck it. Throw it away.
That we just bring in on an as-needed basis. I hope that addresses this.
Yeah. We don't do anything in Trimet offices. We just fucking hire everybody else to do our work. We get $200,000 a year for doing nothing.
There's no further questions. Is there a motion to approve resolution 21-02-08?
So moved.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Okay,
vote
I
for
think
anything
we had a couple
if I were you,
competing
Ken.
folks.
I vote no on everything.
Director Edwards has made a motion.
Yes.
And
Second?
Linda second.
Okay, great. Is there any further discussion?
Fuck off, Warner. You're way over your term. You need to be out of here.
Hearing none, I'll move
Get
on to the
fucking
All
out.
those in favor of the motion to approve resolution number 21-02-08, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
God, you make me
Any
sick, you people.
abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is approved unanimously. All right, I believe that covers all of the resolutions. Unless
Yeah, give it away the money, motherfucker.
But before we go to the ordinance, I just wanted to
Now
urge
what?
Director Wade, make it clear that even though we're not having a special meeting.
Fuck you!
Specifically to deal with the resolution on the
Fuck you,
transit
Warren.
services, please encourage your participants. to
Why don't you
come to
fuck
our
off?
meeting and provide him.
Why don't you get lost, you
Because I would
fucking
like to hear
hack?
from them, and if after that.
Fuck you.
we hear from that.
You fucking
the board
hack.
wants to make further actions they can, but so.
Fuck
please
your
encourage
fucking bullshit.
you and your
We know who you are.
constituents, and I would put the same out to all the other board.
Yeah, sure you would. Sure, liar.
All right.
Why don't you
Moving
go
on
to
then,
Canada with your buddy Doug?
The next thing on our agenda is the ordinance number 362. I'm going to ask our general counsel to read that ordinance by title only.
Retroactively adopting the fucking matter.
The Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District of Oregon, retroactively adopting April 2020 and August 2020 service changes.
Hopefully China will invade us. I'm rooting for China. I want China to win.
In looking at the resolution,
I think China deserves to take authority. How about Russia?
Last meeting, the first reading.
I like Russia even more
Hopefully
better.
we received any comments at that time.
В ознаменование 74-й годовщины
Yeah,
победы в
baby.
Великой Отечественной войне
Having
пора
reviewed, consider and
победы.
approve the Title VI Service Equity Analysis.
Service equity now.
Mick
Fucking
goes
liar.
on to take action on this ordinance. So I just want to make sure that we have, if the board is feeling comfortable, we have reviewed, considered and approved the Title VI Equity Service Analysis before we actually take motion.
Yeah, you liar!
Approving this ordinance.
Yeah, you really want to, you're a liar. How can you watch this? How can you watch this?
With this and what areas that are being covered by these proposed changes.
Let's watch it.
maybe we could ask staff to go through. So I think there's an entire list in our packet, Director Edwards, that outlines where the changes were made. And these are all changes that were made as a result of COVID.
The COVID
reductions
scam.
in ridership. Mr.
We
Chairman,
stole all the money and told you could stay home. We stole it all, man, and now you're all gonna
I'm
die.
just trying to see if I can get Tom Mills on by chance.
And you're all
I
so
am on. Can
stupid.
you-
There
You're
he
all
is. I
just
thought he was
sit
there. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Did Director Edwards have a specific area of questioning? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, the 15.
We did a
What
presentation
do
on the
you
first.
care? You can vote him down just like you did the other one, man. You just vote him down. The white people always fuck it up.
This is, real quickly, this is not in reference to any proposals. This is in reference to the changes that were made back in April.
The changes they made without any public hearings, without any public comment, they just did it. Okay, they just did it. All right, and the sock puppet said, "Okay, do whatever you want, Trimet elites. We don't care. We're sock puppets. Everybody knows we're sock puppets."
This reduced service by 20% due to the COVID crisis, and then in August
Oh, look at that guy.
of 2020, we then added 10
Look at him,
percentage
man.
points of service back.
That's
So
a-
now
that's
we
a
are
Russian.
at a 10% service reduction.
10%
so,
service reduction, 0% reduction for
it's not
capital
in reference
projects.
to the FY22
Fucking liars.
proposal,
You're all
which is
such
we
liars.
have out to the public today, and
Come
we
on.
will be bringing to the board for the first reading in March. This is
Oh,
what's
look.
going on today.
It's the evil Putin.
Этой обнаглевшей
thank you.
силе
I just wanted to be
покорились
sure.
многие государства.
Yeah, sure, no
И
problem.
безнаказанность
Good question.
застилала нацистам
Take over the
глаза.
world, Putin.
And the
Они
question I
думали, что
have maybe
смогут
for
также
Tom
в
is,
считанные недели подмять под себя
how
и
they
Советский
provide
Союз,
testimony
тысячелетнюю
I think he was
историческую
talking
Россию.
about the upcoming proposal,
Не
right?
вышло.
That is correct.
Rather watch
That
the
is-
вероломного
that is-
вторжения врага на нашу
Look at
территорию
this guy.
the first reading.
были и
Look at these
поражения, и отступления.
Look at these
И
guys.
тяжелые
Look at
потери.
these. Oh, look at these babes.
Но это не
The
сломило
Russian
Россию.
babes.
Уже к
What's
началу
that?
июля
Who's he, the
41-го
Buddha, a Jew?
в строй встали
yeah.
более 5 миллионов
Everybody's
бойцов.
comfortable with the Title VI
Десятки
service?
тысяч
No, they're not. Lies.
Then,
ушли
do
в
we need to make a
народное
motion to
ополчение.
approve ordinance of
Под
the
шквалом
General Counsel?
Oh, look.
Yes.
So is there a motion to approve ordinance number 362?
So moved. Linda.
Samu.
Is there a second?
Fuck you.
Second by Director Edwards. Any further discussion? Hearing none. I will ask the General Counsel to do a roll call vote.
По Красной площади проходят знаменные группы Знамени Победы,
Fuck you!
флага Российской
Fuck you,
Федерации
Bauman.
и Знамени Вооруженных сил России.
Director Gonzalez.
Знаменные группы сопровождает рота почетного караула в составе взводов сухопутных
Fuck you.
войск, воздушно-космических сил и
Fuck
военно-морского флота.
Aye.
Fuck you. Fuck all of you.
362, the motion passes unanimously.
I think that's all of the items that I see on our
Слушатели общевойсковой,
else staff
Жукова,
with
Ленина
board
и Октябрьской революции со знаменами ордена Суворова Академии Вооруженных сил Российской Федерации. Парадный расчет возглавляет начальник Академии генерал-лейтенант Александр Романчук. В составе парадного расчета современной команды парадные расчеты начальник дивизии в числе первых.
I have.
Go away,
I would,
Kelsey.
I've spoken to J.C. Vanetta on it, and I think
Vanetta,
in light of
another
the time
hack.
we are at now, I would suggest we defer this until
Another
the March
fucking
board
useless
meeting.
hack.
It's an exciting thing to see. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
Exciting
the
for
time
you
we're at now,
fucking
it's just
elites.
defer.
Right. I think that's wise.
Fucking
I will
shithole
point out the
people.
information. I think you had a PowerPoint in the packets. that,
Correct.
I'm giving you
get
thumbs down, by the way.
handle on,
Thumbs
so
down.
we're ready when it comes back to us.
And I never
Okay?
thumbs down your
And
videos.
Bruce, I'll mention, this has been deferred now twice.
Because you're hacked.
So
You're
it
hacked.
is deferred to March. I'd really like to see it because I think it's really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I should call up on the next meeting.
It
Blast
It
them!
really is very cool. It's very impressive.
Yeah,
Maybe we can put
impressive
that right
fucking
up front in the
bullshit.
general manager's report next time.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Fuck
okay?
you, Kelsey. Get the
Yes.
fuck out.
With that, I guess I would just note for anybody listening, our next board of directors meetings is March 24th, 2021.
I don't want to hear any more of that bullshit.